All right, Shalom. All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. All right, we come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America. All right, which is Babylon the Great, according to the scriptures. So first and foremost, before I get started with today's camp, I want to give all the praise, all the honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Arakak Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders that rule well at Great Millstone. And Shalom, salutations to all you sincere Akim preaching this word in all truth and sincerity. Alright, so as I stated before, alright, we come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America. Okay, America is Babylon the Great. Alright, the sinful kingdom that is upon the face of the earth, in which Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai can destroy. Okay, the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. Alright, whom you call God, the Most High, and His only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His true name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh means He is or He exists. Once again, the Heavenly Father. Okay, and Yahweh Shai is His only begotten Son. Okay, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai means He saves and or He delivers. Because He's going to deliver His people, alright, from their sins. Okay, not every nation under heaven, only His people. The 12 tribes of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the true Hebrew Israelites, according to God, according to the scriptures. Okay?
Sorry.
So, alright, there's got to be some upgrades, alright, as we go, through time. I got the tribes chart. Okay? And as I said, I'm going to need some upgrades. Alright, I'm going to have to buy a plank, possibly glue it on, nail it on. Okay, but there's no excuses as to why you can't come out and declare the word. Okay, preach the word. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to start off with that. Okay, that was a spirit. Okay, so let's get it. Alright, this is 2 Timothy chapter 4 in verse 2. It says, preach the word. Okay, you that have the understanding, you that say you have faith, you that believe. Okay, if you got legs, alright, feet to stand on, and Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai has given you faith, that zeal. Okay, you must preach the word. Okay, you must preach the word. You must come out on the highways and byways and declare this truth. All right, as the scriptures mention, men that they have the word, okay, the talents, but they hide their talents. Now, not everybody's going to be a prophet. Okay, not every brother, every believer out there was set up to come out on the highways and byways. But Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai gave you talents. Okay? He gave you different skills or different means in this life that can be used, okay, for the body. Some brothers might have a good paying job. Some believers, some brothers might have a good paying job. It might not be in your ability to be a prophet, a preacher. Okay? So you could assist the body by distributing funds. When it comes to the body of Yahweh Shai, I should say, the church, which I fall under the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. The doctrine that they preach is the doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that I follow, that I believe in. Okay? So you do have to pay tithes. Okay? Now it's according to your ability. We're catching hell. But as stated, you will have brothers, believers, that have, funds, a better paying job, okay, and not necessarily in the position to prophesy. So their lot is to assist with funds, okay. You got women that believe, okay. A woman's job isn't to prophesy, but you got some sisters out there that know how to sew. They make garments for brothers. It's according to your ability, man. But us, and you hear the word compelling you to get out on the highways and byways to preach the word, you have to do so, man. You must do so. Okay, I remember when I first came in 12 plus years ago, watching the videos, getting hit with the Spirit, feeling the Spirit, having the Spirit. Alright? I was in a panic, like, oh man, I need to go out there on the highways and byways. I need to preach the truth. I need to declare what I know. Okay? It's our job. It's our purpose. It says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and godliness and doctrines, like you, which the doctrine is godliness. So I'm going to read that again. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. The word instant means to be ready. So you got to be ready to go at all times, man. Okay, when it comes to preaching the word, when it comes to showing your faith, you got to be always willing to show your faith. Okay? You can't sit on your talent. You can't rest on your faith, on your beliefs. Alright, because shit is about to hit the fan. Any day now there could be a terrorist attack. Any day now there could be a economic decline. Okay? You already hear the warning signs and the talks of a cyber attack on the water plants. Okay, Esau, the self-proclaimed white man, the devil, he's getting ready to shut off the food supply and the water. Okay? He's ready to incite, chaos out here, man. Because he got plans of bringing in order through chaos, order ab chaos. Okay? It says, reprove, rebuke, exhort. And that's our job, is to reprove, rebuke one another, and exhort each other, man. With all long suffering and doctrine. So when you do rebuke, okay, when you are exhorting or reproving, it's to be with the doctrine. Okay, not just because of the way you feel. Okay? Not just because you don't like the color of a brother's garment, so to speak. And I'm just saying that, just to throw it out there. Because you'll have men out there that will be in a specific group or a camp. They all got the same garment on. Alright, we don't get on these guys because they all look like clones. We don't get on the IUIC because they all got purple garments with gold on it. No, we get on them, we rebuke them because their doctrine is off. Okay? So we don't get on each other being malicious. Alright? We get on each other based on the scriptures, based on the Spirit. Because you gotta be moved through the Spirit. Okay? When it comes time to show faith, alright, and what you really believe, you gotta show that faith through works. Alright? It says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. The time's gonna come where men are gonna bug out. Okay? Where men are gonna get offended.